Welcome to James I, folks. And I'm here with John Somoza. Yeah, today we're gonna be talking about Philippine girls. All right. He'll start when we come back. Go.
The Philippine nation is an archipelago of many islands. An archipelago means many islands that are in a chain. There's like about over hundreds of many small islands in the Philippines. But how it got its name,
I don't know.
was like how there's like this Spaniard from King Philip. He's from Spain, who like named it after himself. But then very, very earlier than the Spanish was a Portuguese known explorer by the name of Ferdinand Magellan.
Okay, continue.
Yes, and originally it is the natives there are the local Philippine peoples. They came from like different parts, like very west. From the very west was from Africa, but then they migrated like in Southeast Asia, and from Southeast Asia they immigrated finally to the Philippines. And then after that, you have the Chinese from the north, people from Taiwan, Formosa, and you also have those from Fujian, China, from like east and southeast China, as well as like the Cantonese Chinese, who also left China for a better life because Chinese there were avoiding like wars, poverty, diseases, misery, the government, and communism. So they wanted to find a better life. So they escaped. They had a choice of going more south of China to like the French Indochinese region, but mainly they got gathered all together to enter in the Philippine Islands. Very south of the Philippines are the Arab Muslims. Their ancestors and origins came from also like Saudi Arabia, and also went to Spain, but then they went back from Spain to south like of the Philippines. That's the Mindanao region, which is South Philippines. The middle of it is like the just the Manila region, and then the very top of it is Luzon.
Alright. Okay, we're back for more, folks. Okay.
We'll be back more, folks.
Well, when I say like just me, okay.
Alright.
Go.
Yeah. Also Cebu is also like below the Manila region, and it's in like the middle half of like more closer to the south than the north. So like Cebu is like the middle south of the Philippines. Well, anyways, the capital of the Philippines is like it fluctuates. It was once Manila, but then now it's Quezon City. But then eventually it's gonna be Manila. It keeps like fluctuating back and forth. But they are like proud of their heritage, although a third world country and impoverished nation. They're like gradually becoming like prideful, not in a negative way, but pride. They are getting their dignity, and they are like being exalted because they are a God-loving nation, and they submit to God and follow the will of the Lord God.
Now I was going to talk about the girls itself. Like, I don't know if you know not all the names of them,
but one mayor whose name was Corazon Aquino was once a mayor of like the Philippines, and the second woman Philippine mayor president was also Gloria Arroyo.
Wait.
Yep. Why you see these like names are Hispanic was because the Spaniards from like
Keep going,
Spain
I'm
in
trying to-
from the 1500s to the 1800s had a greater control over like the Philippine Islands, and then late in the 19th century, the Americans wanted their own like settlement in the Philippines, and they at the same time, in order to do that, they needed to give Philippines back her independence from Spain. But then the Americans defeated the Spaniards, and now America wanted Philippines to be given her own independence, and Americans are allowed to be able to live in the Philippines as well.
Let's talk about history of the Philippines.
History of the Philippines. There were like many tribes. They all came. The very first ones were from Africa, and then from Africa they settled to Sumatra and also to places that are East and Southern Asia, like Malaysia, Singapore, Indonesia, and those people are called the Malay tribe, and they settled over in the Philippines.
We'll keep going.
And then you have like the Formosans, which are like Taiwanese Aboriginal peoples. They settled from Taiwan and they moved to the Philippines as well. And then you have like the Fujians, and then you have the Cantonese, and also some other popular Chinese in like the southeastern China that also moved to the Philippines. Then you have like Spaniards from like Spain, although they're not like the modern day Spanish. They came from northern Spain, which is Castilla, Galicia, and they are like whiter form of the Spaniards. And then they traveled to Spain as well. And then you also have the Arabs, Muslims, and the South Spain peoples who brought Islam to the south of the Philippines, and you've got those people as well.
Come on.
And then you have like in the very tip of the Philippines, Ilocos, that's like Mexico. The Spanish people went to Mexico, and then the Mexico peoples went to the Philippines, and then those Mexico people married the like Philippine tribe of northern Philippines.
Next, we're gonna talk about how Philippines are in. Well, hold on. Oh crap. Let's talk about how Philippines buildings are invented. Go.
Okay, Philippine buildings, like first they are like on stilts huts and also tribal ancestral homes, which are like primitive, but then they improved because second world countries and developed countries such as United States, Great Britain, Spain, Europe, and also Argentina have like put in monetary contribution and consideration by heaven and God to like establish a healthy and a reformed Philippines. So, but prominent cities that got important are Quezon City and Manila, and also there's also a place in the Philippines called Visayas, and that so Visayas is the true midline portion of the Philippines.
Keep on, you're fine.
And even though like Manila, the Mandaluyong is like the finish line of like the top third of the Philippines, and Cebu is the second ending on, or the second to the third part of the bottom of the Philippines. But it's interesting that the Philippines is composed of many islands, although they are in chains. But it's a very fascinating history. It's like Spanish. They also have like Spanish mix ancestral.
Well, they have a mix of English and a little bit Spanish.
Yeah, mix of
Like
yeah, English, American, and a little Spanish.
Sometimes it's Filipino,
But it's the Philippine like dialect and the tribes that tradition that comes up mainly what the Philippines is all about.
Sorry about that, John. Here we go.
So we hope you like this video by clicking the like button and also hitting the subscribe button.
Like right here.
Yeah.
How about this? There we go. All right.
And this is it. This is James Live. I'm John.
And I'm James Paul, which is Call Me J-Dog, which is James. See you next time. And I hope you learn your lesson, alright, folks? Good night.
Good night.